Good morning, Ergo-Flex family. Dr. Robbie Wyatt, Chief Clinical Officer for Ergo-Flex Technologies, home of the Back on Track, Knee on Track, and Total Brain and Body 2. Um, I've done, gosh, probably 10 separate consults with docs that have recently purchased our equipment. So one of my big jobs is to make sure that the transition from purchase to clinical implementation is seamless. Okay. And what's happening is that when I do these consultations, and what it is basically, I set up a go-to meeting. We do about an hour consult, and I ask questions like, "Well, tell me about your clinic. Are you all cash? Are you partial cash? Are you partial insurance? Do you PI? Are you all insurance? What? Tell me what your clinic is." And the doctors have no problem telling me that. And then typically, the next thing that comes up is how to use it, what kind of protocols we should be using, clinical indications, contraindications. Those are all pretty easy things. Then we move into the area that I call chiropractic math. Okay. I start asking, well, what's your per visit average collection? So, in other words, what do you average collect when a patient comes in per visit? And I get this really strange look from the doctors. Um, a lot of times they'll kind of, if they, because I invite staff to this, they'll look at the staff and go, well, I'm not sure. Well, I think, right? And so I get these very vague answers. And the same thing about, well, how much do you actually collect from insurance carrier versus from the patient? And, so, and it's frustrating because the question is how much can I charge per visit for back on track or for knee on track or for the total brain and body O2? And my immediate response is, well, how much do you want to charge for it? Okay. I mean, that's the reality is that it's your clinic. I don't know what is happening in your clinic. So I'm poking around trying to figure out what exactly is happening in your clinic so that I know. And the scary thing is that these docs don't know. That means you don't know. Okay. If you don't know what your per visit average collection is, then there's a problem. Okay. And it's a real simple number. Okay. So you go per month, per quarter, per 6 months, per year. Okay. You can break it up into any of those. So it's real simple. And in a calendar month, your collection month, your whatever it is, calendar, whatever that is for you. So if you're going to do a quarterly, if you're going to do it per month, 6 month, or by year, that's defined parameter. Okay, so that's going to be your gross collections for that period of time. So let's say it's a month. All right. So from January 1 to January 31st, that's going to be how much did you actually put in your bank account from that day to the beginning day to the end day? Okay. So let's say you had a decent clinic and you collected $50,000 a month. Okay. So your gross collections was 50 grand. Then you divide that number by the total number of patient visits. Everybody came in your door, whether they actually received the service or not. Okay. So if they came in for a free consult, if they came in for a $79 exam, they came in for an x-ray, it doesn't matter if money was exchanged or not. That's how many people actually walked in your door looking for your professional opinion. Okay. So let's say 250 a week. All right. And so that means what? 1,000 patient visits in a month. So you're going to divide 50,000 by 1,000. Okay. So your per average collection per visit for that month was $50. You need to know that information so that you can figure out when you purchase the knee on track or the back on track or the total brain and body O2 or any PCO equipment for that matter is what are you going to charge for it? All right. So I really was thinking about this. Okay. So let's say we got a doc that comes in straight out purchases the product. Okay. They plop down all the money at one time for back on track. Okay. Well, how long is it going to take them to regain that 12,000 bucks, right? And how much are they going to charge to get there? Now, let's say we have somebody that finances. Okay. Typically, the doc who finances $10,000 to $12,000 is looking at, say, $350 a month for 5 years. Okay. Those are rough numbers. I just want to get a number out there. So let's say $350 a month. 350 bucks. So when I start looking at things like $350, you divide that by 2, you get 175 bucks, right? So if you're making a $350 payment a month on a piece of equipment, in my mind, you should be collecting half of that number, $175 a day, that you're open to see patients. Okay? So most recent clinic I was in, we saw 3.5 patient days. That's where our patient visit days were. Okay, it's really 3. Okay. So, but let's multiply that times 3.5. That's $612. Okay. So in a week, that piece of equipment should minimally be pulling in $600. Okay. That means $2,400 for the month. That's really low. Okay. That's a very low target, but I want you to understand, if you are collecting half of your payment that you make on that piece of equipment per month, per treatment day on patients, you're doing pretty good. Okay. So let's say that's 612. Divide that by 1,000. You know, that's chump change. It's like $6. Okay, right? It's not even 6, it's half a dollar. All right. So if you're minimally collecting half of what you make a payment a month on for that piece of equipment, you're not charging enough. Okay. So a lot of times I tell doctors this, and this is up until just this past week, I define my job as mainly being able to help you, the doctor, seamlessly transition from purchase into clinical implementation. And what I'm finding is that that's not my highest priority. My highest priority is making sure that you are profitable with this piece of equipment. Okay, so let's say 1,000 patient visits, right, in a month, and you collected $50,000, right? Not bad. Okay, that's per average. For every time you saw a patient, you collected $50. Okay, now that's not calculating in your overhead. Okay, most chiropractors' overheads run 50% of what they collect, right? Most, right? So typically, it's going to cost you between $25 and $35 just for the patient to walk in the door. Okay, that's your overhead cost. Absolute stop loss, that's a whole nother game that I try to talk to doctors about, and it's just not something that they've ever really thought about. Okay, I mean, you don't know what you don't know. You need the training in order to be able to do this. So what I'm finding is that, first of all, the docs don't even know. They don't even know what they're collecting per visit. I mean, to me, I don't understand that, because I do understand, because I practiced many years like that in practice, and I didn't know what I was actually pulling in the door. If you don't know what you're pulling in the door, you don't know what to charge for things, and you don't know what you're giving away, and you don't even know what you can give away. All right, because look, chiropractors got into this profession not to make money. Okay, we got into this profession to help people, and that's the God's honest truth. But the reality is in order for you to fulfill your altruistic heart, you have to know where your economic engine is at. All right. So I'm getting really frustrated with these consults, because these doctors, I mean, they want to know how much to charge for this. right? How much do I charge as a doc? What, I mean, where can I price this? I was talking to a great doc yesterday, last week, and he goes, I want to know how to sell this better. I know what I should be doing, but I just don't know how to do it. Okay. Because I've worked with docs that can close people on 72 visits for a year's worth of care for $10,000. I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. Right. And he goes, I want to know how to do it. So after I got over being angry about about our conversation, because I was upset for this doc. I really was. I was upset for every doctor that I've done a consult with over the past 2 months, because well, not all of them. Okay, there's some docs that I'm like, yeah, this guy's got it. I don't have to worry about it. This lady's got it. They're on top of it. All I need to do is give them the clinical protocols, contraindications, indications, and they're gone. Okay. So, getting back to the chiropractic math, if you're collecting an average of $50 a visit, okay, let's say you purchase one piece of our equipment, okay, whether it be the back on track, the knee on track, or the total brain and body O2, that piece of equipment should return 100%. So in other words, if you're collecting 50, your per visit average should be 100. I mean, that's the trajectory that I want you to go on. I want you to be able to head to. And I know this is where doctors want to go. It's just sometimes you get lost in the process, or you just don't know what you don't know. So you think about it. How many times have you purchased a piece of equipment that has not doubled your per visit collection? If it's not doing that, then there's a disconnect somewhere, right? And I've seen this. I did this in my practice. Okay, we we purchased a back on track, and at that time we were collecting about $55 a visit per average. Okay, collection per visit. All right. Within 6 weeks, within 6 months, we were at $95 a visit. Okay, so we had pretty much 50%, almost 100% increase in what we were doing per visit. All right, and that's what this equipment should do. When we implemented what we were using the knee on track for, now we're at like 125, 130 a visit. Then when we went into things more like neuropathy, we're at 150 plus a visit. Okay, that's what these pieces of equipment should do for you. Right? Now, if you're like me, I'm a gadget guy. I absolutely love to buy things. Okay, I love gadgets. I love tools. I love all the stuff, right? But that gets you in trouble. If you're buying things just to get patient results, that's great. Don't get me wrong. Okay, if you're going to go out and buy a $30,000 pulsed electromagnetic frequency machine, like a pulse unit, it better get you results, and you better be able to get a return on your investment. Okay, if you're going to buy a back on track, a knee on track, you're going to get a laser, right? When I stopped looking for the next thing that was going to make more money for me, and figured out the problem why I wasn't making more money with me, that's when things really changed. Okay, so there's 4 key components here. Okay, number one, we all have to have the license. Okay, you have to be a clinical technician. You have to absolutely 100% own everything you do. Okay, chiropractors are really good at this, right? And I'm non-denominational. If you are straight Palmer package, Flying 7, and that's all you do, awesome. Own it. Understand that this is the best healthcare system on the planet. There is no better, right? If you're an AK guy, energy medicine doc like me, who takes a black cat in a red velvet bag and swings it around the room while chanting the patient's name backwards, great. Own it. Realize that it's going to be the best thing for that patient. Okay? So you have to be a clinical technician that has mastered their craft. And you never stop adding to your toolbox. I want you to understand that. Always, always, always go out and look for new techniques, because the more you have, the more you're going to be able to help. All right. Now, The next big aspect of this is marketing. Okay, it doesn't mean a thing if you don't have anybody walking in your door. Okay, so marketing mastery is a key component. And if you're not good at this stuff, find somebody that is. Okay, outsource this. And I know 18 years in practice, I've been burned by more chiropractors and other professionals in this profession than just about anybody. Okay, I've had more money basically bilked out of my pocket because I was looking for the next thing that was going to work. And the reality is that it's simply a cost of doing business. Okay, it's not giving your inner furniture away for free. That's not the cost of doing business. Okay, it's not giving the inner furniture pads away for free. It's not giving away a back on track session. That's marketing. Okay, I need you to understand this. It's not the cost of doing business giving your services away for free. Okay, the cost of doing business is spending money that's going to put people and results in your clinic. Okay, so marketing is key, right? Now the next one is a very controversial. Okay, sales and closing. They're really two separate things. Okay, but they're also the same thing at one time. So sales, you have to be a salesman. I am a professional salesman. I'm not really great at it sometimes, but I am a professional salesman. I sell to my wife every single day that she should be married to me. I sell to my kids that I'm the best dad that I could possibly be for them every single day. Okay. To my patients, I am the reason you are going to get better. I'm a salesman. Now, the other component of that is closing them, actually bringing them to a point of actually making decision, taking action. Sales and closing are an integral part of what you do in your practice. Okay. Now, I know you've been taught, oh, we don't sell, we educate. If you just give the message will educate them so they'll take action. Bullcrap. Okay. If that were the case, we've had enough chiropractors standing on stools yelling to the public for long enough that every single person in this world should be under chiropractic care. If it's just you yell the message loud enough, we as a profession have done it. Okay. The reality is that's not how sales work. That's just forcing your will upon somebody else. Okay, so sales and closing is absolutely critical. All right. So you have to be a clinically technician. You have to be a clinical technician in mastery. Okay. So number one, you have to have a license. Number two, you better be putting techniques under your belt that makes you far superior to the guy next door, because guess what? As chiropractors, we all adjust the spine to remove subluxation. It's a commonality between all of us. That's what's called a commodity. Okay. You have to have marketing. You got to put people in our door. And with all the noise out there in this world, you got to be really good at it. Okay. You can't just be AAA plus chiropractic for Temple, Texas anymore. Okay. You can't do that. And then you have to have sales and closing. So I've done all these things, right? My weakest part in all that is marketing. I've never truly mastered marketing. So I've always gone out and had somebody else do it for me. And this is what's I'm so fascinated about with our Secrets to $1 Million Practice that's coming up March 22nd, 23rd here in 2019, is that we have assembled all of these components. Okay, I'm really excited because I'm currently in negotiations with one of my mentors, specifically on sales and closing. And we're going to have him here, either him or two of his associates, which is really exciting because when I met him 4 years ago, my entire career turned around. And the mentoring and the education and the sales that he taught me was absolutely amazing. So please don't miss out on our Secrets to $1 Million Success Practice seminar coming up March 22nd, 23rd, 2019 is going to be critical, because what I'm finding is that there are no chiropractors out there that are clinically deficient in their technical ability. Okay, they're deficient in marketing, they're deficient in sales and closing, and they're deficient in knowing what's happening in their business. All right, so no more chiropractic math. I want cold, hard, scientific numbers about where your practice is, so that we can, every time I put a piece of equipment in your practice, I should be able to double your per visit average collections. Okay, so if you're collecting 50, I put it back on track in your clinic, you better be collecting $100 per visit. If I haven't done that, then I'm not doing my job. All right. So March 22nd, 23rd, call us, get tickets, find out exactly when when you want to turn your practice around, because that's the place that's going to make it happen. Because we're going to put all these great docs and marketing and salespeople in one place so that you feel like you're drinking from a fire hydrant. Okay, it's going to be coming at you that hard, but it's going to be simple, easy stuff you can implement the following Monday in your practice. So you're going to have clinical pearls, business pearls that you can immediately implement. Okay, and those are going to be critical facts. And then I'm going to take you to the next level, because this trajectory is going to be going up and up and up, because that helps more patients and that helps this profession. All right, Ergo-Flex family, call, get your tickets. As always, you can contact me here at dr.wyatt@backontrack.com, Ergo-Flex Facebook page, or Chiropractic Instruments of Success page. And by the way, Randall Chestnut, our marketing guru, is going to be on our Chiropractic Instruments of Success show tomorrow, January 8th, and we'll be talking about a lot of these concepts. Okay? All right, y'all have a great one.